Hello my crafty friends, and welcome to Karen Burniston's new release blog hop. I will have all of the details of the blog hop in the description box below. The design team is sharing cards made with the new release, and I went with a Happy Halloween card that is also a slimline card. This one is a different size for me. Normally I make them 8.5 by 3.5, but for this one this is 8 inches by 4 inches. But you can see it fits in a number 10 business envelope for mailing. I'll show you my card and then go over some of the details with you. So the front has got the little ghost, it's got some sequins for sparkle, the beautiful paper that looks like foggy mist, the Happy Halloween, and when you open it up, it has the tiny house that's decorated as a haunted house. So the haunted tiny house is an add-on for the tiny house pop-up. You can see it stands nicely for display. I really had fun making this one. There's a couple of add-ons to the tiny house. There's this haunted, and there's also a gingerbread, and I can't wait to play with the gingerbread as well. So let's talk some of the details. How I created my card. On regular letter size cardstock, I had 8.5 inches at the top, and I cut it down at 4 inches. And that left me with a 4 by 8.5 inch strip of cardstock. I scored a 1/2 inch on the left side, and then cut another one that was 4 by 4 inches. The 1/2 inch flap I just wrapped around over the 4 inch side, and that gave me my card. 4 inches is a good width to hide the tiny house when the card is closed, so that's why I chose those measurements. The pretty pattern paper, you've seen me use it a lot. It is from Craft Consortium. It is the ink drops in the color Vivid. Alcohol ink prints are so trendy right now. I am loving this pad. I'm getting a lot of use out of it. And everything that is available is linked on my blog post, which is in the description box below. So that is the pretty purple that I used. And I didn't use a lot of dies to make this card. Well, all of Karen Burniston's dies play so nicely together, and I can often add from previous releases and new releases to making a card because they go together so seamlessly. For this one, I really did stick to the new release, as well as, of course, you need the tiny house. So the tiny house comes like this. It has new technology for the roof where you can ink it and then die cut it. So in one pass you get the inked shingles, and they're slightly embossed, and they're die cut as well. So the tiny house is what you need to work with the add-ons. So that's what I used for there. It also comes with a mushroom house add-on. So that was part of a previous release. And this new release includes the haunted tiny house add-on. So you can see there's my fence and the little ghost, the shutters, the windows, the window frames, the wonky door. Those are the shingles that you can add on. I did mine in a color. I much prefer the ones that Karen did on her packaging samples. But I also used the shingles as my walking path here. I added a vellum doily. I kind of liked the almost spooky, eerie feel that the vellum doily gave. I cut it in half so I didn't have any bunching at the fold, and then butted each side up against the fold line. Here's the fence, and I just die cut it from white cardstock and added some inking with blending brushes, and then just added it in pieces to stretch across my card. The white movement lines I added around with a white gel pen, and I used a black marker to color in the eyes and the mouth, and that's a stencil feature of the dies. Then there is the Happy Halloween, and it has a shadow die, which is awesome. So I die cut it from a dark gray cardstock, added some ombre coloring with a marker, and then cut the shadow from vellum. So it doesn't pop. I liked that it kind of blends into the background, and I was really happy with how this card turned out. Folds flat for mailing. This will mail for a single stamp, and it doesn't take up a ton of room for someone who wants to display it. Now, while I made mine kind of spooky, I think you could do a haunted house out of some more fun colors. Again, I hope you will check the links in the description box below. Karen Burniston has amazing tutorials for all of her dies, and I love showing you different ways you can use the dies once you have and know how to assemble them. So again, in that description box, I will have a link to her store so you can see all of her assembly videos, including the tiny house pop-up and the haunted tiny house add-ons. In the description box below, there's all the details for the blog hop. I hope you will follow along and leave comments on all of the designers' blogs so that you can have a chance to win a prize. If you enjoyed my video today, please give it a thumbs up. and subscribe to see more. And that's it for me today.